Nature has a funny way of teaching us lessons without being loud about it. Subtle ways, from the thickening air to the poisoned rains and vanishing fish. So much can change from our collective actions, yet the river still flows one way in the end. You go with the flow, everything becomes easy. Trade-off being, you ain't really in any kind of control. People try their entire lives to trick themselves into thinking otherwise. Yet the river itself is strong, wide, fast, and destructive. Merciless at times. Anything that's not ready to glide along will eventually be swept away. Little movements here and there are the most control we really have over anything. We make smaller rivers, smaller systems to keep everything neat and flowing in the same direction. Easier to direct and influence. Fill up the facade with enough support so it stays afloat a little longer. In the end, even our working rivers are still pockets inside nature's, splashing around, none the wiser, till it's all too late, and we go tumbling over the edge together. Sometimes we'll see the rush coming, apply enough pressure and plant our feet, hoping to stand against the current. Just a matter of time before the endless flow of the water returns us to the stream. We know it. We still fight for control all the same. No matter how many signs we receive, and in any number of ways, the river never changes. You know, the skies are always shaded with a cloud cover out here. Locals tend to agree it's some omen about the future. God's ironically clear-cut response to the actions of our fellow man. I tend to lean towards the smokestacks from factories due west and south, having a bit more to do with the sky's attitude rather than mystical nonsense. Omens and the wrath of God are just coping explanations to simple matters. The sky's fogged because we're all swimming in the modern American dream out here. Nothing puzzling about it at all. It's just nature. Tons of ambition, a little greed here and there, a solid base of customers. A little crime, a lot of organization. Give it time, and the rest of the country will catch up without a doubt. The skies will all be just like ours. Even the common criminals around here make it big, especially if they're toting a solid skill set and know how to hold an edge over the competition. The big guys and corps have the jobs, and the little guys slink along, picking up scraps till they can be worth the proper steak cuts. Some of us are a little past that, but only a little. Still working for the corps in the end, even if it's freelance. Far higher risk, far higher reward. Business this side of the dime eventually becomes more about taking the right jobs, rather than simply staying alive. The day-to-day is akin to a 9-to-5. The walk home that night wasn't special either. Down the same old decrepit streets, towards that cheap heap I call home. Of course, I could have planted my feet anywhere in the city, even in the high-rises next door to the CEOs with the gold-plated floors. What kind of asshole walks on gold? Anyway, I preferred somewhere closer to home. The stains I represent in my line of work shouldn't be slumming it with the men who never get their hands dirty. Even the best of us are still just criminals with fancy names. Housing this far off the beaten path is just math. Abide near the people drawing eyes. You draw eyes. The area was by no means nice, just less in the spotlight. Though, that meant a little noise now and then. The slingings, beatings, and territory plays were daily. Typical, even. They'd get especially loud from time to time. Even lethal. That was just how it went. Another spoke on the city's wheels, doing what it'd do naturally in New Houston. Round and round. The corpos hardly set foot out here. let alone leave a watchful eye to take notes. There's never anything to note. Anything, other than the typical, was a unicorn of a day. And if I knew how special the day was, I might have dressed differently for my last errands, given how long my unicorn of a day was about to become.